Good evening and welcome back to episode 14 of my show From Idea to Impact, the show that explores the journeys of entrepreneurs turning their ideas into real world change. I'm your host, Quentin McDougald. Tonight's guest for episode 14, we have Dr. Onika Harry, founder of the Birthing Your Business Brunch that's taking place this weekend, Saturday in Hartford, Connecticut. Dr. O, say hello to everyone before we get started.
Hello, everyone.
So, Dr. O, you have an amazing event that's happening this weekend, and I've had the pleasure, or you tapped me to actually be a panelist. So I'm very excited about this event. So before we begin, let me run down Dr. O's, because we had to decide on the name, Dr. O's bio. So Dr. O has built an impressive career working with the Hartford Public Schools and the Department of Children and Families. She currently works at both the Department of Social Services and Wheeler Clinic. Her dedication to making a difference was recognized in 2019 as she was named one of the 100 women of color based on her contributions that she's made throughout the community. In addition to her citations for the Connecticut General Assembly at the Connecticut Office of Treasurer, Dr. Harry has also been recognized by the state of Massachusetts for all the work that she does in the community as well. So it gives me great pleasure, Dr. O, to have you as an episode guest for episode 14 tonight on From Idea to Impact.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the time and effort that you put into for actually bringing me on your episode 14. I'm honored to be here and to go through this interview with you tonight.
Perfect. So before we get started, tell everyone a little bit about you and what you're doing this weekend. Again, I mentioned she has an amazing event. Make sure you get your tickets now. Tickets are still on sale. They're almost sold out, so you don't want to miss it. So share a little bit about yourself and the event you have going on this weekend.
So a little bit about me. My name is Dr. Onika Harry, and I'll be hosting my first Birthing Your Business Brunch, which is scheduled on November 2nd at the Artist Collective. The whole purpose of the event is actually to bring awareness and also entrepreneur opportunities for individuals in the Hartford area. Young entrepreneurs giving back into the community, scholarships in 3 areas: culinary, business, and someone who wants to start up their own business. So a little bit about me. Basically, I was born and raised in Guyana, South America, before migrating here to the United States with my mom and siblings. I came from a large family. Has 19 of us, and we're loved. We love each other. So I was brought up on the importance of education, the importance of entrepreneur, and the importance of, working towards what you want to achieve. And that's what fueled and pushed me more towards wanting to launch Birthing Your Business Brunch, because I always believe in giving back from the way I was brought up. You always find a way to give back and to share what you have learned. So Birthing Your Business Brunch this Saturday at the Artist Collective is not just about business or someone who just want to start up their business, but also to come together in the form of networking and basically experiencing what resources that you might not be able to find. So come on out.
So she makes it seem like it's just a small event. Tell them about the panelists. I mean, how many panelists do we have coming on?
So we have a total of 10 panelists on there. These panelists, each one of them bring a unique variation to what's going to take place. Each one of them are touching on topics from Quentin, for example, for you, touching on web designing and basically building your business. Then we have insurance for small businesses, the taxes and bookkeeping aspect of it. Building your business from scratch and the importance and what resources and tools there, even business and equity. Also, we have mental health, which is a big thing now, keeping that in check, with the importance of that when you starting up your business or even trying to run a business, a lot of times we missed out on that, not realizing how burnt out it can be just trying to find resources alone for that. So even then when you found when you start the business, the barriers that you face within the business, we have our panelists going to be speaking on that too. So our range is, it's a broad range. I'm excited because my panelists really and truly that was selected for this, I know it's God sent because everything that I do, basically, I done it on a spiritual level. And I prayed about this. I prayed for my panelists, and each one of them, it wasn't even questioned. You guys didn't even question me. You know, it was just like, yes, I'm in. So I was like, yes, God, I know this is aligned with you. So that's how I know. So my panelist is very powerful. And most of them also came from the community that I was raised in when I migrated here. So Bloomfield High, yes. So I'm a Bloomfield girl, but yes. So most of them came from Bloomfield. My love is there. My passion is still in Bloomfield, although I moved to Windsor. You know, hey, I'm there.
So as you can see, she's excited, I'm excited, but let's get into it. So what inspired you to start the Birthing Your Business Brunch? And what are your hopes to make an impact in the community with your brunch this weekend?
Okay. So Birthing Your Business Brunch came to me spiritually. I come from a family of entrepreneurs. And just like you and many other listeners, I am one to basically share and give back what my experience is in, throughout my entrepreneur journey. And I realized that many, from my experience of working with at-risk youth in the prison system and from working in the community, basically there's a need. I see there is a gap between proper resources. A lot of time we find a lot of students they have their own talents. And I feel like we stress a lot for academics and we stressed a lot for even sports, scholarships. But a lot of times we lack the stress. What about the students that have talent and have nowhere or no one to turn to basically to ignite their talents of starting their own business? And what really sparks this too, I have an older son who's currently in college, and one day, his first semester coming home from college, he was like, "You push academics so much." And I was like, "Yes, because I was raised where my parents push academics, and that's all I knew was okay, academic, academic." But at the same time, I reflect back and I thought about it. My dad was big on entrepreneur. Like he always instilled in us from a little girl. Like I had a whole little business that I was running at the age of 10 before I migrated here. So it made me reflect back and I was like, you know what, you're right. It's not all about academics because I might be good academically and on a business level, but here it is. Other students may not be that great with academic, but they have certain talents that they want to tap into, or their grades may not be that great. So when I thought about it and I got the vision for it, it was wow, these young men, young women in this particular area need to fill the gap because this would help them. So that's what really sparks and ignite me to go forward with Birthing Your Business Brunch, is really to provide the resource that they need. Imagine for us as adults, we can't find resources too often when we're trying to start up a business. So here it is. That's what really ignite me.
Listen, that's very passionate, is very powerful because, like you touched on, there's so many kids nowadays, and I think with academics and just the way the school system is going nowadays, a lot of people or a lot of kids are struggling to find their footing and what they could be strong in. So entrepreneurship is definitely a key. I know it's a lot of things that they see, whether it's on YouTube, they see it on Snapchat,
Right.
social media. So I think by you honing in on these talents with the different entrepreneurs you have speaking to them, I think is going to make a great impact with them. My next question is, with your background in psychology, education, and social services, how do you see the fields intersecting in your mission to help others succeed?
So they all align through social services. It's all about getting people the right resources they need in order for them to thrive. So when I think about psychology, it's basically understanding the individuals, about educating them on what resources are there. In social services, basically we deal with so much poverty and disparities, and basically getting to know your community and basically building that community up in order for them to thrive on different level by providing social services, resources, or the needs where there's lacking in different area in the community. So to me, being able to help someone fuel their dreams by what I'm doing is going to fill the gap in where all three thrive together, because we're educating the community on the resources that they need in order for them to enable them to make better choices, to assist them in also where work, for them to find jobs, you know, for them to, if they can't find jobs, for them to build the whole jobs for themselves. So filling that gap, I feel, with my background in psychology education and in the social service field, it's all try for one thing, which is helping humans in the community.
And this is going to be an amazing event, and I know it because you've already received a lot of recognition throughout the city, throughout the state. I think in two states actually, in Connecticut and Massachusetts. So, I mentioned before that you're 2019 Woman of Color honoree. Which of the many accomplishments that you have, and you can even include this weekend coming up, are you most proud of so far?
So each recognition is significant in its own way, but the one that meant most often reflects the impact on the community, the personal connection with just knowing that I've made a difference in the work that I do. To me, is the most. It's in line with the personal values and the mission that holds the meaning, that means the most. So each one of them means the most, but the most important that sticks out is the one that knowing that I'm able to make an impact on the community that I serve.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's all about impact. I mean, that's why we're here.
Yeah.
Um, so to follow that up, as a Black woman in leadership and community service, what unique challenges have you faced so far, and how have you overcome them?
Sadly, in 2024, I would have to say that many Black women in power are rising faces similar challenge. We have to prove ourselves more, even more. We are questioned more, stereotyped, and much more. We are faced with most um, dismissiveness. The advice that I would give is to not give up. When you do good, you will continually be blessed. And I live by that. No matter what obstacles I face, or I find that sometimes we face a lot of, I face the crab in the barrel syndrome, the whole back. And oftentimes I always said, you know what? I take it with a smile. You always see me smiling no matter what. And I don't settle. I keep advocating for me and keep striving to do better. And one of the things that I would say, being juggling professional responsibilities while expecting to advocate, because as a Black woman, I feel like it's important that we have to 10 times advocate more for ourselves. So basically, being expected to advocate for broader social issues on a whole within community can lead to burnout. So one of the things I would say is, build a support network, which I had to learn to do, because a lot of times we don't know how to build support network. We think that by going to network events or just being there, but that's not building network. That's not building your support. You have to build a support network. That's important to do. Another thing, I would say, as a Black woman in leadership, that you have advice that I would give is embracing your identity. Use what's unique about you, as a strength, because oftentimes it's being overlooked. Because I remember, like, I had to say, okay, fine, what's the uniqueness about me? Because I struggled. I remember being struggle, like, okay, what are your strengths? What are you weak at? And one of my things was I would not speak in front of anyone, whatever, or that used to be my biggest, like, oh, I'm not going to that event. Oh, you want me to speak there? No, I'm not doing it. So I'm like, you know what? That's unique about me. So I had to start saying, okay, I have to step out of my zone and basically make it my strength. So that was one of the things. Embrace your identity. And again, like I said, I stress advocate for yourself by speaking up about your accomplishments. Like, a lot of times I used to go around and my friends would always used to say, oh, that's my friend, Dr. O or Dr. Onika. And I used to be like, it's okay, because I'm humbled. I did this for me. But I realized that I was hindering myself. So one thing, not being afraid to speak about your accomplishment, speak up about your accomplishment, focus on the impact, your mission, and the impact you want to create for you, you know, in effort to build a better community.
Listen, so young entrepreneurs and old entrepreneurs out there, make sure you're paying attention. She gave a lot of powerful words. Never hesitate to share your accomplishments with others, because, and like Dr. O said, she's Dr. O. She's not just regular Onika, she's Dr. O. So that needs to be celebrated, it needs to be honored. And when you go into these rooms, you should address other people as such, with all your accomplishments. My final question for you is, for young entrepreneurs who might be watching, what are the first steps that they should take when they're building a business or starting to think about the ideas of how they should start or venture into entrepreneurship?
Okay.
Yep, go ahead.
So the first step might be to write down and truly believe in your dream. A lot of times we have dreams in our minds and we're processing in our head, but we are not writing it down and we let it slip away. Be prepared that many might not understand your why of what you want to do. But once you understand your why and your mission behind your why, go through with it. It's important that you surround yourself with like minded individuals that can mastermind with you. Because a lot of times we tend to have friends and family that may not have the same mindset as us, or can't see our vision, can't see our plan clear as we do. So it's important for you to surround yourself with individuals who can help you mastermind and get you to the next step that you're trying to get to in your mission. Write down what your mission is. What is your goal? What are your aspirations? What is going to be your drive? And sometimes it's only going to take one yes for you to really go forward. You may have 20 no's, but the one yes that sees what you're trying to do, go forward with it, push through it. Because a lot of times, if we listen to all the no's and not the one yes, what we do is bury our dreams of becoming the next millionaire. So the whole point of Birthing Your Business Brunch is for you. This is your yes. Come on out. The resources are there. The panelists that we have for Saturday is beyond. I read their bios, they're knowledgeable, and they are your yes to starting your business.
Perfect. So again, that's the plug. Make sure you come out this weekend to your Birthing Your Business Brunch, starring Dr. O and her amazing panelists that she'll have. So for those of you that watch the show, you know this is my favorite part of the show. I like to leave an impact. I like to leave advice, and specifically take advice from my different guests that I have. So what's one word or one phrase that you want to leave the visitors with or the viewers with tonight, while they're watching?
One word I want to leave, I would say that to me is that personal values and mission holds the most meaning. And know your value, know your worth, and whatever mission you set out to do, make sure that it holds the most meaning and impact, not just you, but the community that you serve.
Couldn't have said it better than myself. So before we end tonight, are there any words of inspiration or anything you want to leave the guests before we wrap tonight?
One thing I do want to leave with the guests tonight is that in everything you do, well, for me, I put God first in everything that I do. And I believe whatever your belief is, trust in that belief, go forward and inspire the world with your gifts and your talent. Everyone are not academically smart, but they do have gifts and talents. Use your gifts and talents to empower you, but most importantly, to empower the community that you serve and to leave a legacy behind, knowing that you have fulfilled your purpose along the way while you were here.
So you heard it best from the good doctor, Dr. O. So Dr. O, I want to thank you again for taking the time to be a guest on episode 14 on the show From Idea to Impact, the show that explores the journeys of entrepreneurs turning their ideas into real world change. I'm your host, Quentin McDougald. This has been Dr. O and our guest tonight. Everyone have a great night and make sure you show up this weekend. Tickets are still available. Have a great night.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. I'm looking forward to see you guys at Birthing Your Business Brunch. Come on out and support. And guess what? Not just the panel, the food prepared by yours truly and some other restaurants, so local restaurants in the community. Come on out, enjoy. Come on out, and not to forget, Birthing Your Business Brunch is taking place on my birthday weekend. So come celebrate with me. So come on out, guys, and let's have a ball.